Okay, folks, so with the failure of academia that's currently occurring and that most of us were aware of, meanwhile, most of academia was swallowing the entire pill that academia is better than everybody else. And you wouldn't know that I'm bitter, right? Actually, I went to college. I got my degrees. I got a bachelor's and a master's, but I still luckily, I got there. I was in college before all this indoctrination happened. It was already going on because I got swallowed into it a little bit too. But I'm sure glad that was a long time ago because now we're seeing so much indoctrination. It's so deceptive. So this person asks, why aren't master's degrees valued as much as babies? Wonders childless woman with a master's degree. Okay? So it's a fact, universally acknowledged, that one of the worst things in the world is having to congratulate your friends for good things happening in their life, especially when your friends don't constantly shower you with praise for whatever stuff you've managed to achieve that's completely different. What that means essentially is we seem to be addicted to this, like, I want attention, I want the praise. I want all this praise, and how come you're not giving me all this praise? And how come you're giving praise to other people? Stop letting envy take a hold of your heart and just step back, because don't worry about everybody else. Seriously, just stop worrying about it. But this isn't how normal people think. So clearly this is going to be some news to some people, because if this lady in this tweet right here is anything to go by, some people think it's an injustice that they have to congratulate their friends for getting married or having a kid, which seems pretty normal, when nobody takes the time to shower praise upon them for having gotten a master's degree at some point in the past. So this is what Sarah says. Do you know how many times it's been expected of me to congratulate my friends for getting married or having a baby? Pure chance and luck. I did this with sheer willpower. Here we go. Not one of them has said, well done. No acknowledged effort. Power to every woman who doesn't conform. Qualifications. Oh, here we go. Wait. This person's ready to skyrocket into the career field. Master of Arts in Classical Studies. Postgraduate certificate in humanities. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, awkward pause, big time. Think about it. So it's not just any Master of Arts degree, it's Master of Arts degree in classical studies. So this is super useful, I promise. Now, it'll be useful if she turns it around and says, I'm just going to stick to academia and try to be a professor somewhere, because this is probably the only place they're going to hire you. Now, you could get other jobs out there outside of academia, but most likely you might be a high school counselor, okay? And I'm saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with anybody who's doing that. I'm just saying, if you're looking for a field where there's going to be lots of job opportunities, maybe you're not. You're in kind of a difficult field. This is like getting your PhD in Greek and Latin. Not a lot of opportunities, even within academia itself, okay? So it's a Master of Arts degree in Classical Studies and a postgraduate certificate. It's just a certificate. No, seriously, it's just a certificate in humanities. And I love these fields. I actually love classical studies, and I think humanities is so beautiful. Like the humanities, especially art of the Western world, and literature of the Western world, I think it's beautiful. But you got to be realistic here. Okay, so where's the ticker tape parade for people with an MA? That's what she's wondering. Well, how come I didn't get my celebration? If you're going into this expecting that, please step back a little bit. And what they should have for every person who gets a degree is like a week that you have to spend in the Kalahari Desert with the Bushmen of Africa, to try to just take a spoonful of humility. I think they should all have to major in humility before they can even graduate. So no ticker tape parade for her, so she's pretty pissed off about it. The mind boggles at the amount of sheer willpower involved. She did this based on sheer willpower. Twitch Alicia says, question mark, I mean, you sound bitter. My friends didn't do anything when I finished my degree. Of course, they celebrated my son to be. If you aren't throwing a party/gathering, like a baby shower or wedding, don't expect people to congratulate you. Exactly. Stop with these expectations. This is for you, right? This is for you. Your own expectations. This is your own accomplishment that you did. You can own it by simply going, I know I did it, and internally, I can get internal validation just from here, from myself. I don't really need other people to validate it. It's nice if they do, but stop expecting this. This kind of goes along with an older concept, first world expectations. Like, there are people who accomplish quite a bit in this world, and not one person ever says anything to them. They never, and a lot of people don't know sometimes what other people have done. I believe other people have done amazing things. I've got guys working on the street out here who filled in potholes, who have laid entire pipe for this entire area out here. And they don't get, I'm positive, they're not getting a party for what they did. Sheer willpower is how they did it, right? I guarantee utilities guys aren't having these parties. So somebody says, a concerned parent says, you think getting a humanities degree is harder than birthing an entire human or sustaining a marriage? Clown. Almost as if human life is worth something greater. I know. What a thought, that human life is worth more. It is. I know, you protectorate of the WEF and the anti-humanitarian brigade of George Soros and the eugenics depopulation worshipers at Bill Gates' feet. I know you hate this. But that's okay, because free speech. I love it. So, no, it can't be that. If there's one thing that we need more of, it's people with master's degrees in classical studies. Yeah. Not people. We don't need more people. We need more people with master's degrees in classical studies so that they can tell us in their reality how we really should live. There's a higher way, noble savage. Let me bestow this upon you and make decisions on your behalf. Because I have degrees. I am involved innately with academia. Therefore, I know better for you, noble savage. You see where I'm going? Gentleman Sausage. That's a great username. Oh, and the hashtag is @GentSausage. But they aren't even real fields. Is that a joke? You conform to the demands and desires of your university, and now they own you for life, we assume. Possibly with those student loans. Conform to what? More females than males graduate college each year, which is a fact, actually. So according to the National Center for Education Statistics, and as reported by CBS, women are 15% more likely to get a degree than men. So really, she's conforming to societal norms and expectations for women more than she doubtless likely like to think. Okay. Emily Zanotti says, I got a JD and passed the bar exam on the first try and also tried to have a baby for 8 years. I can tell you the first was unbelievably easy compared to the second. I tend to believe that. Woman. Somebody said, I went to college and graduated. Oh, remember this? Yeah, that's famous. When Jeb Bush said something, I forget what he said, but he said something that was supposed to be like, oh, I went to college and graduated or something. And or he said something that was supposed to get the crowd to clap, and nobody cared. Jeb Bush doesn't have any dynamics to his personality, and nobody cared. And he's like, please clap. I'm like, really? You have these expectations for yourself? Come on. Sunny. Also, I love the angry, childless millennial notion that being married and starting a family is pure chance and luck, quote unquote. It's a comforting notion. They can tell themselves that they're lonely and miserable by sheer chance and not their own actions. Yeah, I agree with that. I think who's headed this up, this group particularly, is like Chelsea Handler. I think she's one of these people that really kind of headed this up as a cool thing to be like childless, this independent woman at age 40, whatever she is now, childless, having some red wine with her best friends. Um, that's fine. I mean, you make your own choices, but just don't expect the world to clap. Like, if you, I mean, really, don't expect the world to clap for you, and don't be angry. You can be whatever you want, but I would recommend not being so envious and angry if the world doesn't clap for you and the world doesn't give you all this stuff, because, like we saw in the statistics, more women than men go to college now. It's kind of the thing. Like, that's the conforming right there, is you're kind of doing something that a lot of more women are doing now. So, I mean, congratulations, great, you're going to school, but we're not living in the 1800s. There's more women in college now than men. So, claiming making a marriage work and birthing, taking on the responsibility of bringing up the next generation is somehow lesser, which I'm getting a little tired of this, I'm better than you because of this, then going to school for a few extra years would, it seems to us, to be a good definition of the height of madness, something you'd think she'd learned during her studies. There's, of course, nothing inherently wrong with perusing advanced degrees in your field of study, absolutely, regardless of your gender. It's something that people have done for as long as advanced degrees have existed, just as getting married and having children has been around a long, long time for the majority of the world. But outside of some extreme outliers whose research will change the world, your master's degree isn't likely to contribute to the greater society that much, and has much less likelihood to do so than a happy married family raising kids together. Are all families happy? Of course not. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But you know what? It's probably right. that having kids is probably going to do a lot more as far as society goes than a master's degree in classical studies. And that's great that you did that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if you're going to be Jane Goodall. And she didn't even have a degree, actually. She was just a waitress. She was a waitress. She was just essentially kind of trailer trash, and boom, look what she did with her resources. So, and she really went against the system. I mean, she was not part of the system. I'm not academia. I'm just a person who's pretty good at watching monkeys. I can sit in a bush and watch monkeys all day, and I can observe and take notes in a book. She had just basic skills without a degree, and look what she did. Pretty amazing stuff. Anyway, in spite of her views on some things, I'm still kind of impressed by her. So, hey, classical studies, congratulations. Read up on great literature. There's nothing wrong with it. It's inspiring. It's wonderful. But, if you didn't choose the kid route or anything like that, if you didn't, just, like, stop expecting the party. Like, just go on with your life. But anyway, classical studies are great. Good for you, and bless your heart. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.